Dr. Wonkite. I'm already into the 420, damn it.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
I'm trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
You like music, you like weed, well, we gonna be good friends indeed. This is not much I like more than smoking trees. They'll make you dance the do-si-do and teach you how the chiba grows. Smoke a bowl on the 420 radio show. On Lifestyle Radio.
But we're a bunch of idiots, so we didn't, and you didn't sing.
Hey,
I wasn't gonna.
What was that,
okay.
Marcel? No.
I said I wasn't going to sing.
Oh, well, that's what vodka does when you drink it.
No, not vodka gin. I don't like vodka martinis. Gin martinis.
Yeah, me
So,
too.
This is the 420 radio show. Hi, how are you? Or how high are you? I'm here.
How high are you?
I'm at Club Shatterizer.
So you're high.
Matt, and they can hear you.
And so you're high and getting higher.
Probably.
Yep.
Yeah, and I have to try. I'm trying to train myself. My new computer is actually a touch screen, so it's a little bit easier for me to, if I remember.
Hey, I got a Shatterizer question. No, I got a dab question.
Dab question. Do you want to ask
Dab
them?
question.
Dab
Yeah,
question? Okay, come on over.
It's a dab question and a Shatterizer question, and it's a personal opinion question for everybody here.
Well, I'm giving the mat to Mike.
You're giving the mat to Mike? All right, Mac. The question is, if you're doing dabs, is it better to stick with the same strain all evening, or is it better to switch to different strains as you go along?
I try and switch it up personally, but I think it's just personal preference.
How's everybody else feel?
Personal preference is always my choice.
What? Oh, just switch it up. Or just...
It was just a one-liner in and of itself, actually, but sorry about that. It kind of jumped quick out of the gate. Just to riff on the term personal preference. It's always my choice.
That's usually what it is, yes.
Yeah.
Question for Matt. What are the stats saying on that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Let me check my Rolodex here.
I'm just curious, what's personal preference? To stick with the same strain or to switch strains up?
I prefer to switch strains, personally, but I'm fortunate enough to have, usually a nice selection of strains from various friends that I cultivate, and I definitely switch it up.
See, I'm in the same situation. I have plenty of different strains to choose from. So I tend on switching it up. But I try to stick sativas to sativas and indicas to indicas.
For sure. I'll consume sativas throughout the day and only break out the indicas at night. I can't function during the day vaping indicas.
Well, since I'm quitting smoking tobacco, I have a much higher intake of cannabis, and it doesn't matter. I can't function at all anymore. So I'll just stay high until I no longer want to smoke.
So
it seems to be working.
What are you doing, Alan? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Welcome to Club Shatterizer.
Thank you very much. It's officially I'm officially a member of the Shatterizer Club, that I have been using mine, and I do like it.
Tell me, you've been you went through the whole process. You had cancer and you used cannabis, and take us on a little ride, bro.
Take us on a little ride, okay. Well, it's not a fun ride, but it gets interesting later on. But basically, my 2013 was a story of deterioration, And unfortunately, coming at it from probably some of the best health of my life. I'd spent the previous couple of years in showbiz, and I wasn't working very much, and I decided to take some classes and just sort of change my look, and I was bigger than I was. I was going to the gym regularly, like almost every day, 4 or 5 days a week, and for 2 or 3 hours at a time, really getting into it. And then at the beginning of 13, it feels like I popped a rib, and it didn't quite heal, and that was strange at the end. Was that?
Sorry, Al.
Yeah.
Al.
Oh, sorry.
Which
sorry,
Al?
But Al, can you mute your mic for a sec? Looks like you did. Okay, sorry. Continue, Alan.
Okay, so I don't know where I got left off at, but I was in good shape is my point. I'm sorry?
Sorry, you said it felt like you hurt your rib?
Yeah, I hurt my rib, and I pulled it. I thought I pulled it in the gym, not warming up properly or something, and I had pulled a rib or ligament in my rib or something. And they're hard to heal, and you can't do anything about it. You just have to wait. So towards the end of the 6-week healing period, 2 to 3 weeks in, it doesn't feel like it's getting much better. In fact, worse. And then it was getting worse. And then as it deteriorated, and then I was getting to the end of what the 6 weeks of healing would have been, and I had even more pains in different areas in my rib cage, all in the back, and it just felt like the same injury had replicated itself several times, maybe 6 or 7 different spots, rather than the one problem going away. And soon after that, I started taking over-the-counter meds, not opioids, thank goodness, but Excedrin, Anacin, Robaxacet, any of that stuff, and I would just rotate it around. And none of that was doing me much good. It would help a little bit, but and I was just hoping to get better. And then by June, I thought, okay, this is getting nuts. I have to go to a doctor, and that began my saga of trying to find out actively why it wasn't healing. And the tests they were running were not showing anything, unfortunately. Went back in July, same thing. Got recommended for a urology specialist out of Mount Sinai Hospital in Toronto, and same thing. Told me a few things that were interesting about my urological system, but not one of them included that it had prostate cancer. And I just continued to deteriorate in a state of fear and worry and not knowingness, and it was a creepy time, that's for sure. Anyway, then I had a drink on my birthday. I had a couple of beers on my birthday, and that was in November. And I shouldn't have done that. It really. I'm not recommending people don't drink or whatever. This isn't a puritanical review. I'm just saying that at that time, my kidneys were not tolerating any kind of anything like that. And I had a really tough time on that day, on the 5th of November. And it took me a couple of days to recover from it, needing to go to the bathroom furiously about every 7 or 8 minutes. And that's a drag when you need to go to sleep, but you're doing that for about 17 hours, 15 to 17 hours of needing to go to the bathroom horrifically bad, and then you get into the bathroom, and about an eyedropper's worth came out, each time, and it was just brutal. And I thought I was going insane at that point. I really did. It was just like, I can't get to sleep. I can't pee. Nobody knows what's wrong with me. I'm in pain all the time. What the fuck, And so anyway, I just kept riding it out, and then on the 20th of November, I woke up with what felt like 2 rebar going through my lungs, just pulling me up out of bed, and it hurt. Like an unbelievable amount. Terrible weather, awful cold, freezing stuff, listening to the radio. CAA, the auto guys were boosting everybody all over the place. It was super cold. And I didn't even want to risk a cab or an Uber or anything. So I managed to waddle over to the train station and get downtown and get this diagnosis later in the afternoon on the 20th of November, 2013. That was aggressive advanced stage 4 cancer that had already metastasized into much of my skeletal structure. And the gentleman there eventually informed me that whatever they did was going to probably, take out my hair, whether it was chemo or radiation. And then that I would be seen by a specialist as soon as possible, which it turns out was 5 weeks. Because when you're stage 4 aggressive advanced, they really want to jump on that shit right away quickly. So that's just a little shot to the healthcare system.
5 weeks.
So then... In the meantime, I had been in the waiting room, waiting to find out what terrible news would befall me when they finally diagnosed me. And I started thinking about medical cannabis, came into my mind, and mulling it over. Didn't really know much about it. Wasn't really a regular user. Hadn't been for guess about 7 or 8 years at that point since I had recreationally partaken of the herb, and that was also a personal decision of mine. It wasn't a judgmental thing, and I was certainly on board with whatever medical cannabis people or recreational cannabis people wanted to do, you know. And so I didn't have a political take on it at all. I thought, yeah, okay, maybe I'll try this, and then. So I got the diagnosis on Wednesday the 20th. Thursday, Friday, I was at work, couldn't do anything about it. I was working on a TV show at the time, and I just had to attend those rather long days. One of the days which included a photo shoot for a New Year's Eve TV special where I had to wear a suit and look all fun. Anyway, I can barely look at that photograph now. It brings back the horror. And that whole time was really kind of fuzzy. But anyway, so the 2 days go by, and then on the Saturday, I was able to obtain from a friend, a trusted friend who I knew was involved in cannabis and could ascertain a good batch, if you will, because I was certainly out of the loop. And this person managed to get me a quarter ounce. Which would eventually make 15 grams or so, 12 to 15 grams of Rick Simpson oil, which I learned how to make from using basically Google and YouTube at the time. This seems like a million years ago now. 5 years ago is a long time in what's happened with us and our politics and certainly my awareness of it and the rights and the differences and the pre-Trudeau era and whatever. You know, that was a long time ago, and I just didn't want anyone to know I was sick. I didn't want anyone to know that I was using this illegal substance to remedy myself because I thought, first of all, they'll think I'm nuts. Second of all, I might get in trouble with the cops. So I kept it to myself. And over the first 3 days of taking the tiniest measure of this oil, a pinhead, I call it. Some people call it a half a rice grain or a third of a rice grain, but pinhead looked good to me. And it was the tiniest amount, and I hadn't been, smoking or partaking for a while, and I did get a little sensation out of it. It did put me down heavy to sleep. This tiny amount, it did make me hungry, which I had not been very much. And after 3 days of doing that, just little pinhead, about an hour before I went to sleep, on the fourth day, I realized I did not need my morphine that had been prescribed to me to take for the pain, that I'd been suffering. And amazing, because not only was I trading away the morphine on those 3 pinheads, it's also the summer of over-the-counter meds, your Excedrins, your Bufferins, your Anisons, your those things. And there's 3 little tiny pinheads of this stuff. And I was like, shit, I'm out of pain. I'm out of pain. Like, I was still a friggin' mess, don't get me wrong, but it didn't hurt, right? None of this hurt. And then I started to increase the dose slowly, as you're meant to do with this particular course of action that does so fucking work. Government, stop telling everybody it doesn't. And it deserves a try at the very least, especially when they told me 5 weeks later that my numbers had been basically cut in half, my terrible, awful numbers. I won't bore people with specifics, and you kind of get lost with numbers when you're doing jokes or stories. But they were too fucking high. And when I took this stuff, they had basically been cut in half in the subsequent 5 weeks. So when the expert went to take a look at me and everything, he wasn't sure that either one of these readings was accurate, because he said, well, you have this number and you can't have this number 5 weeks later. That's impossible. At that point, I was already well aware it's not only impossible, I knew exactly the culprit as to why this was happening, the wonderful friend, marijuana oil. And it was, I wasn't going to tell this dude that I was doing it, because I just didn't trust that the system would be okay with it. And, that was all. No genius would it require to figure that out. I just wanted to keep it under my hat. So 5 weeks there, 5 weeks into it, this terrible number 700 is now 374, which is still bad, but basically in half. And about as incredible as pushing a roller coaster back up the hill with your bare hands. And the momentum of it getting out of control that's in the disease's domain. When you're pushing it back the other way, it's a lot harder. So it's even more incredible that it went back anything at all, never mind virtually half. And I knew I was onto something based on what I was reading. So 5 weeks later, when this guy told me, you don't have any options. We can't use chemotherapy on you. You're too far gone. Unfortunately, radiation, and there's nothing to do surgically, because we can remove your prostate, but there's no point. It's never going to work again. It's cooked right out, and you'll just have to be recovering from the surgery. So, you might as well not get the surgery. There's nothing they could do. And they were emphatic about it. And then I'm taking this oil and I'm feeling better and better the whole time. I can't tell you how much I felt better between the diagnosis date on the way to this expert meeting. I'm sure he was expecting to see me in a lot worse shape than I was. And at the end of this time, he said there's nothing you can do about it, and he started to explain to me where the chapel was in the hospital, and that I should make peace with my quarrels, and that I should get my affairs in order, and etc. And I just stopped him and said, are you telling me there's nothing else that can be done or used in this fight? And he said, no, I'm sorry, there is nothing else. And I knew he was wrong because I'd already been improving for 5 weeks and tracking it and noticing it. And there was no better indicator than the reduction of pain to zero and the increasing of mobility from horrible to a lot better than it was. Nowhere near normal, but I was on the upward trend instead of the downward trend. So I kept using this stuff, and about 6 months into it, I'd be going to see this guy every month and getting blood tests every month, and also taking a substance that they had, because I doubled down. I was afraid. It's a substance that it suppresses testosterone production, testosterone being the fuel, the gasoline to the fire, I guess, for prostate cancer. So between the two of them, seemed to be handling it pretty well. But he still was thinking, like, it's not going to last that long, maybe 5 or 6 months in your case. And the last 5 or 6 months is going to be uncomfortable for you. And, then I would be on morphine and basically just help me ease on out. And that's the phrase he used.
Wow.
We will help you ease on out. And I looked at this guy and said, do I look like the kind of guy that eases on out? What's that, sorry?
Nice choice of words.
Yeah, that's what he said, ease on out. And I said, do I look like the kind of person that eases on out of anything? And he just kind of laughed and said, well, that's the kind of attitude you're going to need to get through this. And but my
how
attitude,
long ago was this, Alan?
This was November 2013. And then the November 20th of November 2013 was the diagnosis. And 5 weeks later, between Christmas and New Year's, was this assessment that there was nothing I could do. And that...
So 2 years before you got diagnosed, I was going through the exact same thing.
Whereabouts?
In Nova Scotia. But it wasn't cancer.
Oh, what was it?
I had a rare form of MS that I started. So they sent me home, basically said, there's nothing more we can do for you.
Yeah. And then you start doing things. And then you're okay. And then they tell you it's not a good idea to do that thing, right?
I met Rick Simpson, went to his house and tried his oil and come home and found out a better way to make it and make it work for my condition.
Oh, that's amazing. And so when was this? That was in 2011?
Well, I started in 2008 is when it started. And started taking oil every day. 2009, September of 2009, I started ingesting oil every day.
Wow.
And have ever since.
Good for you. Never heard of it at that point. I had never heard of it at that point. Rick Simpson oil, cannabis oil. I was a smoker. I smoked pot for a while, and then I didn't,
Well, I live about 10 miles from Rick Simpson, so...
Oh, that's amazing.
It wasn't hard to...
He doesn't live there anymore, right?
No.
Oh. That's too bad.
He moved away. I don't blame him. He moved away.
I think he's somewhere in Europe still.
Yeah. So just to wrap up, I mean, basically what happened at the end of that time was that I knew at December when I asked this doctor, and he said there's nothing else you could do. And meanwhile, I was already doing something else and getting great results that he'd already said. He can't understand why I'm looking and feeling so much better now than when he's meeting me from, according to his paperwork, I should have been way closer to the grave by then. And so about 6 months in, I told him what I was doing. Because every month I would go in and get my blood numbers, and every month they were improving. And eventually my prostate, the PSA count was in the pocket of like 1.1, 1.5, and 0.1, and he couldn't believe it. So come July or June or July, 6 months into knowing this guy, and not liking him very much, by the way. That factors into it later. I just said to him, I think the reason that you scratch your head every month I come in here is that I'm taking this oil. And it's cannabis oil. And he just immediately said, oh, that's not a good idea. We don't know much about that, and I can't recommend it. It could be dangerous. And I'm like, okay, you're going to leave me to the ravages of stage 4 cancer. There's fuck all you can do about it. No, by the way, I can't understand how well you're doing. And, don't do that one thing that's causing it. So this got back up about the medical system almost completely and entirely at that point. You might want to call it a conspiracy theory. I just call it a retelling of what happened to me, and based on the advice I was getting. It's like if a stockbroker decided to tell me to stop investing into some company where before this I was totally broke, and then all of a sudden I was making a shit ton of money, right? I was like, what are you talking about? I'm going to keep doing this. And so it has gone, and through the course of not quite finishing the first course properly because of cooking it in my home became a little more difficult. I was obviously cooking it quarters at a time because that's how I had to do it. And the last quarter was a little too warm, a little too nice, and a little too stinky for my neighborhood to have that wafting around. I don't have all the equipment and everything, so I didn't finish it. And but I felt like I'd done pretty well and was doing okay. But it turns out I had to keep going back to it every once in a while. And then I had a bad batch, which I found out later. And the bad batch was a drag because what I mean is it didn't have high enough of the anything, I guess, in it. It was shit weed, if you will. And it wasn't helping me. And the cancer was coming back. So I crashed really hard, way harder than the first time. And I thought, okay, that's it. I'm done. I had a nice little couple extra years on there, but I guess it doesn't last forever. And got into the hospital for some emergency procedures, including catheterization and some stuff, some scrapings and this and that inside. And then eventually, I realized that I found out that the oil I'd been using was not effective. And then I freaked out because I was like, it's not that this doesn't work, it's that this batch is no good. And it kind of re-energized me, and I was able to source some more stuff from a different arrangement instead of making it myself. And I can't even remember the series of events that led me to one particular, let's keep this vague, one particular collective of folks who had heard about my story and decided to help me out with some for sure quality stuff. And it's been great ever since.
Perfect.
That's awesome, bud. I love hearing these stories.
And people say, did it go away? Did it go away? Have you killed your cancer? And I keep saying, I don't know. Because the only way to find that out is to stop taking it for a long time and see if it comes back. And why would I want to do that?
Well,
Tommy
Chung,
and
Chung
that's
ran
my
into that
attitude.
as well, right? Tommy Chung ran into that where and I think he admitted it, he was taking the oil, he felt better, went into remission, so he stopped. He didn't keep the upkeep, and it came back.
Far out, man. Yeah, that's what happens.
No, I tell everybody that once you start this, you're stuck with it for life.
No, I don't think it's a problem because, listen, I don't know if everybody is stuck with it for life. I don't know that because I don't know what it's like if you're stage 1, 2, 3.
It's not worth the chance, but because there's a lot more illnesses and disorders that we treat with it.
Totally. Other things as well. You might as well get on that. It's like, in a very limited sense, it's like the diabetic who's told, you can have a totally normal life, you just got to keep jacking this insulin all the time. Yeah. And maybe you feel like you don't have to do that, and then you don't do that one day or two or three, and then you get into a real mess. So I don't want to take that chance. I don't feel like it.
It's not worth it.
Recently, I've had some differing numbers here and there, and I realize I've got to change some things and double down again. But the point is, the people that will continue to mock this or think it's just like a lie or something. The point is this: the entire concept of killing cancer and nuking it out of your body and cutting it out of your body. This way of even looking at your opponent or your situation is already outdated on its face. And this stuff is 100% for sure, despite what my doctor said, my guaranteed death date, despite the recommendations against it, despite the prediction that the second time I was really low, I was also going to die 100% for sure. I'm already 3.5 years past my guaranteed funeral date. Everything's a bonus now. If it consumes me over the weekend and I'm gone by Monday.
3.5 years past your expiry date.
See, he's got the same attitude that I did when I was doing this shit. This is awesome. I love this.
You're guaranteed to go. And so every single day, if I wrap it up on Monday because I implode from cancer, I will still have won in my mind. This gives you an incredibly liberated mindset. And so I just feel like I'm just going to keep doing it. And guess what? If it turns out that I don't actually need to keep taking it forever, that's fine. I enjoy life with it now. It's very helpful. It's very good for coming up with ideas. And it just creates a completely different awareness as far as my educational intake is concerned, as far as my spiritual awarenesses are concerned, and I wouldn't get rid of it at this point, even if they said to me, We have 100% absolute guarantee you don't have this cancer at all. It's never coming back at all. I say, cool. Where's my next dose?
Yeah.
And finding that next dose is going to be easier and easier and easier as we go on.
That's true. Yeah.
Well,
I'm already working on that.
Yes and no. Because ideally, you're still going to want to make it yourself, or it's got to come from a very reputable source.
Yeah,
so
Well, it's going to be both, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
I like growing things in my garden and things like that and having food, but I also go to the store. So I don't want anything in the way of it. I don't want governments that, well, we haven't figured out the liquid aspect yet, so we're not going to allow you to have this. Fuck off, I'm taking it. I'm not asking permission. I'm just going to do it. It just works. I'm tired of being told by a bunch of people who have never tried it, don't understand it, are probably being purchased by the monies from its rival not to accept it as a thing. I mean, if you listen to the senators kick that story around, did you hear those senators that went down and talked to Jeff Sessions in the States and then came back up here with all their selves in an uproar? I mean, I'm just done listening to any of those people. I know what I'm talking about. I know I wouldn't be here without it, and I'll never stop being a staunch advocate for it. And I'll still be correct even if I die consumed of it on the weekend. You know what I mean? Like I'm still way into bonus time here.
Yeah, we're still winners. We're the We Be Death Club.
We Be Death Club.
Yeah,
but this is the thing. It's the
Club.
criminal thing. Okay, this is the criminal aspect of it. I've just talked to you about the happy aspect of why I take it and why I keep using it. The criminal aspect is this. Obviously, just do the math. I'm not the only person who decided to go his own way based on diagnoses. But how many men, in this specific case of prostate cancer, not to be sexist, how many men have been told, wow, you're done, you're cooked, there's nothing you can do, just do this. Or maybe if you're stage 3, they go, okay, let's get on this chemotherapy. And these folks are understanding that they're going to die soon on the way out with the chemotherapy, and that's it. And they don't even try this thing. Or if you're told you don't have surgery options, you don't have chemo options, you don't have radiation, what is the moral availability of telling someone, and you can't do this flower that grows out the fucking side? You can't take that, even though these other things we do have for you all the time aren't going to work. Like, that mindset is horrible to me. And the fact that I'm sure tons of men have just gone, oh, God, okay, well, and then they pick up the phone and call their wife and say, gee whiz, honey, doc says I'm going to die. We better go to the lawyers and drop a will. And they just get on that bandwagon, that mindset, that belief that this genius in the white doctored priest robe, who's the intermediary, like a priest between you and God, the doctor priest is an intermediary between you and the nature source of understanding these things work. And so it's the same thing to me. And I just don't, I can't even fathom and I can't even tolerate, and it makes me furious every time I think about how many, just in my jurisdiction, how many thousands of men have been sat home. There were guys in that clinic waiting to get shots and getting ready to die in that clinic when I would go there every month, and I'm sure that I wasn't. I'm sure I was the only one with the attitude I had. I used to walk in there with my bicycle folded up and put it up against the wall at the boot tray in the middle of winter. I mean, I'm sure I was the only prostate cancer stage 4 guy riding around the city on his bicycle. So I just don't hear them when they come up with the, well, we believe that it's dangerous and we believe that it could cause. Fuck your beliefs. Your beliefs are erroneous. Okay, and they're only beliefs. They're not facts. I'm sitting here a living example. I'm a fucking walking laboratory that this stuff can and does work. And sometimes you just have to go with your own self.
Are you still on the maintenance?
Oh, yeah, sure. I go off and on it. I go off and on it all the time. I'm into a little experiment right now that I'm not going to talk about at the moment because it's brand new, and I just started involving myself with it because I'm always experimenting now with different means of ingestion, sort of tease you like that, but we could talk about it another time.
The big thing nowadays is the suppositories.
Suppositories, that's right.
Yeah.
And I say the politicians don't like that. They can shove them up their ass.
It's a shitty subject, but
we like to talk about it.
My patients love me.
How do you make yours, or where do you get them?
I make them, and I don't tell people my recipe.
Okay.
But they are very, very much adored.
Okay, well, I'll tell people my recipe if you want to hear it.
Most recipes are simple coconut butter or like cocoa butter and cannabis oil.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I also put a little spearmint toothpaste in there for the pick-me-up.
Holy fuck. Yeah, okay.
Did you spill yourself there, Marcel?
Oh, man, I almost choked on my drink on that one. Fuck. That's,
Well, if
just
you're gonna
puckered my asshole right up, too.
Well, I noticed that after a little while, whenever you take one of those coconut suppositories, I always tell people, you're going to feel great in 40 minutes, that's for sure. But be sure to have a handkerchief or some kind of a Kleenex or whatever. Otherwise, you're going to have a little leakage. And, if that happens out in public, you'd rather it smell like a Listerine belch than some kind of a chili festival backdoor exit.
On that note...
I use a different carrier.
Oh, what do you use? Pigeons?
Yeah, pretty much. And it seems to have a much better, faster absorption rate.
What does, sorry? What kind of thing?
The carrier that I use for the suppositories.
Oh, and that's the big secret. You're not going to share with us.
Yeah, I can't share it with you.
Okay.
I have patent stuff happening here, so.
It's patent stuff? So it's a made-up thing specifically for this?
Yeah.
Well... So we both had a tease on this episode. Everyone's going to be writing, what does he mean? What's the thing he's putting up his ass?
Yeah. Plus, we have another patent that we've been working on for over a year with extremely good clinical trials. That's now just going through the final stages of process.
Yeah. I heard Richard Gere cured his prostate cancer by putting a gerbil up there and teaching him how to use a bong.
Yeah.
All right. On that
would
note, we have to go to a commercial.
Oh, okay. And now a word from our sponsor.
Are
you tired of cannabis-laden rodents up your bum? Yeah.
We promise it won't be a shitty commercial.
Yeah.
It won't be. No, let's get straight to the point. Shoot it right out.
It's a song, actually. I'm just
loading
bonus. It up. It's a song, and it's
okay, great.
The Tall Brothers. Tall Brothers. Yeah, I'm kind of high. But
you are too?
I am too. Yes, I am too. Okay. And I'm clicking away here, and I'm having a hard time. So just bear with me and talk. Come on, keep talking.
Told us we were going to a commercial.
We're going to go to a commercial because I'm figuring this out real quick. And
as we're talking about going to a commercial.
As we're talking about. Okay, we'll be right back. This is the 420 Radio Show. We're live from Club Shatterizer. And we'll be right back.
So what are you doing? Nothing. Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
I'm kinda high. Let me excuse myself. But it seems like it's just moments since we met. I'm kinda high. Let me introduce myself. Did we meet before, or am I just kinda high? If you think it a little strange, dear, take a puff on this and then you'll dig my sweet refrain, girl, when I sing it again. I'm kinda high. Let me excuse myself. But it seems like it's just moments since we met. I'm kinda high. Let me introduce myself. Did we meet before, or am I just kinda high? myself. But it seems like it's just moments since we met. I'm kinda high, let me introduce myself. Did we meet before, or am I just kinda high? If you think it a little strange, dear, take a puff on this and then you'll dig my sweet refrain, girl, when I sing it again. I'm kinda high, let me excuse myself. But it seems like it's just moments since we met. I'm kinda high, let me introduce myself. Did we meet before, or am I just kinda high? Did we meet before, or am I just kinda high? Did we meet before, or am I just kinda high?
And
I don't
we
believe-
are back.
I
What?
don't believe it. I don't
You
believe
could-
it.
Yar.
No,
What
I don't
you
believe we're back. I don't believe we're back.
I believe we're back.
But you never tell us when we're coming back, and you. So
I
I'm
just
thinking
did.
it's a fake out.
Well, you know what? I'm sitting here, and I've got Val's card in my hand.
What kind of card?
It's a
Like her
Perfect
bank card?
Clouds card. No.
Oh.
Perfect Clouds Shatterizer business card.
Ooh.
I like the layout, actually. We got to do business cards before I come out there. But I like the layout of this, actually.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Simple but elegant.
I've never seen it. And you're going to put that as our
Yeah,
business
yeah,
card, simple
Val-
and elegant?
Val said you'll get one at Harvest Fest. Speaking of Harvest Fest. Oh, hello, Al's phone.
No, I'm not answering that.
Right, is it Chris Backer?
That's not for me. Why? I'd answer the phone for Chris. I'd put you on hold for Chris Backer. Jeez, man.
I bet you would, because if Chris
I
called,
would.
it would be important.
That's right, because
That's right.
Chris doesn't waste my time.
Chris doesn't waste anybody's time, or his own.
If Chris calls me, I know what's important.
Speaking of Chris and what he does, is there anything going on? I'm taking a break from Alan's story for a second. Is there anything going out east with charges and Chris ends and all of that stuff that we should be kept apprised of?
Not really. There's a few of the dispensaries that were charged have gone in and done their little appearance and gotten a date for going to court.
Yeah.
One of them's filed that they're doing a charter challenge as their defense, which is perfectly fine because that's what's needed. Chris ends they're smart enough just to leave him the fuck alone.
At this point, yeah.
It's the Nova Scotia Liquor Commission, who's going to be the one selling pot out of the liquor stores, have stated that they're only selling recreational. They're not going to be selling medicinal cannabis products.
So where's the medicinal products going to be coming from?
Mail order through the ACMPR, mail order through the MMPR, self-cultivation, or designated cultivation, and as long as the boys stay the course, the dispensaries that are already here that are serving the medical patients.
So in other words, the same way it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because seriously, the dispensaries are going to band together. I mean, they have no choice that want to supply because patients need the medical dispensaries. They need to be able to go in and see product, smell product, touch product. So I'm all for dispensaries.
Yeah, the LPs are making their moves now. I'm not liking the stock market at all right at the moment.
LPs are making their move to supply the recreational market.
Yeah, they are. And they're going to turn around and leave us medical people at the wayside, but our medical people have a system already in place. So,
and we have a system that works. And with the micro processing or micro cultivation licensing coming up, craft growers could then be the primo suppliers for the medical cannabis community through the dispensary.
That's why they're going in and buying them up right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go out and you can spend millions of dollars to build a facility, but if you don't have somebody who knows how to grow pot, you ain't going to grow pot. And that's what most of these guys are finding out now is they're getting growers that have never grown commercial style growing, or they're getting growers that have never grown cannabis.
Yeah, not mentioning any names, but I did hear one licensed producer, their master grower was experienced in growing lettuce. Never grew cannabis in a day in his life.
Hey,
I know one that was. I know a master grower whose experience comes from growing trees, spruce trees and fir trees, to be precise, for the forestry industry.
At least those are trees.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean...
But guess what? They still grow different because those things take 40 years to grow.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it is a weed.
Yeah,
Technically, it is a weed, right?
Yeah, it grows like a weed.
No, but technically, it isn't it in the category of a weed. I mean, it's a wild weed.
Yeah,
It's an
but
herb. How about this?
it's a matter of where you are, because here we have dandelions and daisies and things like that, and we consider those as weeds. But there are other countries that those are actually imported as flowers for their gardens.
Ron says, lettuce.
How about this?
For your comment,
How about
Ron.
this? Am I still on?
Yep.
It's a herb like basil. You know?
Yeah. It's a medicinal herb.
Yeah.
And
Like,
Ron, again,
ethnic-
he has a good point. Weed is not a weed. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a it's a euphemism. It's okay.
Yeah.
It grows all over the place. It has that constitution, but so would a lot of things, given the chance.
Yeah, buildings do that in the city.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Yep. So, I don't know where are we going to go from here, guys. I mean, you've been doing the comedy thing for a long time, Alan?
Yeah, I guess so. Off and on. I mean, it's been rudely interrupted by this life-threatening disease.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting back into it.
Thanks, Mary Jane.
Yeah, it's. I'm getting back into it. I have been doing some shows, and they've been going pretty well. So I'm really hungry to get back. I didn't really want to get out of it, and it just. I had already slowed down my stand-up out of necessity from working on a television show. It was too difficult to continue with both, and so I wasn't doing as much of it as I'd liked. And then when the show was over, and I was trying to get back into it, and then I got sick, so then it really kind of held me down as well. But I'm bringing it back in, and I'm incorporating obviously a lot of this stuff into it, into the comedy, because it is true. It is, write what you know. Write what you know is what they say, and I sure know my story. And so then you're putting the funny into it and trying to put people's mind at ease almost immediately that you're okay and you're fine and you're good, because the last thing you want the crowd to think while you're sitting there talking to them is subconsciously they're worrying about, is this guy going to live? Is he going to die right now? What is stage 4? Oh my God. You don't need that tape running in their head while you're doing your stuff.
We had a few years ago, we had the pleasure of spending, I think, 3 hours with Michael McDonald. Mike McDonald? Yep.
Yeah, Mike, yeah. He's no longer, sadly.
No, he's not. But he took the time to hang out with us one Saturday. I think it was a Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, wasn't it, Marcel?
Yep.
And
afternoon.
Yeah, and he was just starting to feel better.
He was still sick, though.
But he was still sick. He was actually in bed all day with us. So I mean, it was interesting to hear his what he went through, and I mean, you hear the same thing over and over again, obviously, but everybody's story is different.
But at the same time, it was actually really good for him, even though I imagine it was exhausting. Mentally and emotionally, it would have been very beneficial for him to spend that time.
Well, he had just started performing again, and that's how we got him on the show. He performed at a thing that Laurie McEachern was at, and Laurie just walked up and said, "Hey, would you come on our podcast?" And he said, "Sure."
Right.
So,
anyways,
yeah. So
I'm going to change the subject now, Al.
Okay.
Or Al. Only because we
Al.
have Mary Jane to remind me of things.
Yes, I see it too. I see it.
And she reminded me. Alan, what are the methods of consumption that you use for this medicinal herb?
Well, primarily the oil ingestion. I put it. I take it orally, and I vape it, and I will smoke it sometimes, and I do insert it anally, and I do like to put it into. I do like to have mix it into my food.
So you see notice how he said that real quick, and I do it anally, and then
anally,
and
then
I don't mind talking about that at all. I'm just saying.
You know what? It is if you were to be serious about it.
Yes,
it's a gross thing to think about having to do, but there's a huge campaign now that's basically helping a friend in need and getting past that and doing things like that and helping your partner engage in things like that. It also keeps everybody close, right?
I have no problem with that. I mean, you only have to go to the second knuckle.
Yeah, well, I was going to talk to you about that too, Marcel. Can you explain that? Because a lot of people, I'm going to get real fucked up, man. It's not the case. You can if you want, though.
You can, because you can add copious amounts.
Yeah.
But how it works is it goes into the bloodstream through the fine mucous membrane that is your rectal column.
At a fine mucous membrane near you.
And what it does is it goes into the blood that has just left the liver and is being carried to all of the other organs in the body. So you're getting all of this cannabis-rich blood now surging through your body. And by the time that blood comes back full course to the liver, there's not enough THC left to be converted to hydroxy 11-THC, which is what gets you high. So suppositories are an amazing route for medicine because, one, you can take massive amounts with very little psychoactive effect, if any at all. Mm-hmm. Most people report just a tingling sensation, if any at all, other than relaxation and comfort.
I wasn't reporting my sensations at all. I was keeping them quite private and enjoying them immensely. And I think I got a little higher than the average statistic would show then.
It would be a matter of how much you're putting in there.
It's also a different kind of high, I might add.
It's completely different.
It's a strange thing. Like, I don't know if I'm not a big time drinker, but I used to drink, and I used to drink more often. I used to drink a lot of things, and certain things will give you a different kind of drunk, won't they?
Yep.
That, tequila drunk is different from a beer drunk, is different from a sake drunk.
I don't do gin at all, ever.
You don't do gin at all for that reason.
It goes great with vermouth and olives.
That's right. Lemon, that's what they call it.
Gin is something I will drink alone.
You drink alone?
Yep.
Oh, okay there, George.
Not even George Thorogood would do that.
No. That's why I don't
He's
drink.
He's going to drink bourbon, whiskey, and beer, but not gin.
I like gin. Reminds me of Christmas for some reason.
Yeah. Good old juniper berries. Once again, back to nature, right? Like all this stuff. You have to use it properly, though, but yeah.
Yep.
But, so that's interesting stuff. I mean, I don't know what kind of ways you take it. You have a secret delivery system that you're not going to share. Okay, fine, but that's to do with
Marcel uses a baseball bat.
I use capsules. I don't bother with suppositories. I don't need them now. I basically take a maintenance dose of capsules.
Okay.
As well
what
as,
does that mean? What does that mean in dosage, like amount?
I probably take about 1 gram of oil a day.
Okay. A gram
now.
a day, right? Yeah.
A gram. That's my maintenance dose now.
That was my peak dose when I was going at it. You build up to a gram a day on Rick Simpson, and then you're just taking a gram a day after you've ingested the first gram. Takes a couple of weeks, and then as you're up there, then it's just a gram a day. I guess you can take more. Other people take more, I suppose.
I was trying to repair a lot of neurological damage.
Right.
So once I got...
Still talking suppositories here?
Pardon me?
I'm just kidding. I was making a reference to suppositories and neurological damage in the same sentence. It's kind of funny, but anyway.
Once I figured out how to make this stuff work for me, then I just basically got better. Then I was able to cut back. As what was happening was once I started getting really high, I realized that I had enough damage repaired that I could start cutting back the oil that I was taking.
Because the more messed up you are, the less high you're going to get? Is that the premise?
Yeah, pretty much. It's how it seemed to work for me. And it seems to work for a lot of patients that way, that ones that really need a lot of cannabis tend to not feel the psychoactive effects of much.
Well, you get over that. There is a plateau that you go over. Right? And I unfortunately myself, it's a bit of a roller coaster because you get up to that plateau where you're kind of just going about your day instead of being stoned all the time, and then you run out, and then you've got to build up your tolerance again so that you get past that being stoned all the time, or that high is disappearing effect that most people don't like when you're smoking the same thing all the time, right?
But see, I was going through 3 grams of oil a day.
Yeah.
And never getting a buzz. For me to get a buzz, I'd have to stop taking oil for 3 days and then go right back to the full dose. Then I'd get high.
And you've just started smoking cannabis again, so you're getting high again, right?
I'm getting high now because I'm quitting smoking tobacco, because I always smoked oil and tobacco. But because I'm quitting smoking tobacco, I had to switch to something, so I switched to pot, which really tastes bad, but I'm forcing my way through it.
I'm smoking some cherry pie, and I can't remember.
I'm smoking Gorilla Glue number 4, and it's amazing. But
yeah, I like that. I've tried it. This is Mr. Kush, and it's cherry pie, and I'm liking it. And you guys like it? Oh yeah. Yeah, both the Shatterizer people say it's delicious. This is the first time I've tried Mr. Kush.
Oh, you're smoking Shatter though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, see, I just swapped out tobacco joints for pot joints, and that's why I'm smoking Gorilla Glue number 4, Bud.
But you're not using your Shatterizer as much?
I am. It's just in my pocket, my jacket, because I had it out with me today, and I haven't bothered to get it yet.
Oh, I thought you were just glad to see me.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah, pretty much.
So,
actually, there's 2 vape pens in my jacket, actually.
Before Mary Jane has a conniption fit, we wanted to talk about this weekend. Are you going to the GMM, Alan?
No, sir. I have not been able to get down there. Here's the thing: I had to get out of town on a family emergency. I was booked to be at the marijuana march, and I was going to be there. I was booked to be a speaker there, as a matter of fact, and I was going to have some time to speak at that thing, whenever that was going to be, and I do support it, and I hope everybody goes, and let's get the message out. But I'm not even in Toronto right now. I had to leave town for a bit. Bit of a family emergency, so I'm making this call now. So Kim was my producer was thinking maybe I was going to have to cancel today's show. I said absolutely not, because I had to cancel last week on you. But I'm okay. I'm just not in the city, and I won't be making it down for tomorrow.
Oh, it's too bad.
Yeah, me too. I don't like it, but that's the way it is.
Mary Jane.
Yes, sir.
Did you want to tell people why I'm making a big deal about tomorrow?
Tomorrow is the annual Global Marijuana March.
That might be it.
That might be it.
Anything else happening?
Yeah. Queen's Park.
Well, it's like you said, it starts at Queen's Park, goes back to Queen's Park, and there's stuff happening after it's Sensible Ontario, right?
Yeah, they're having a rally there from, I believe, 4 to 6.
Now,
So people are going to start gathering around high noon, and then the walk starts at 2. It should take us to about, 3 o'clock. It takes about an hour to walk around the block there. And then it's really chill atmosphere. You get to hang out, meet some cool people, learn some things about C45 and what our government is calling legalization.
And we're going to be down there with you, kind of. Well, you'll be with Al.
Yeah, I'll be down there. Al Graham from the Pace Radio Show is going to be up there as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you guys will run into a lot of people down there that we know and love.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm hoping people will stop and come over and say hello, as they generally do. So
yeah, they
we have a lot of.
do. We usually get a lot of quick interviews. Even Al goes and talks to people on the walk, right?
It's kind of because he gives them no choice.
Yeah,
he shoves a microphone in their face and says, "You're live on air. What do you want to say?" It's awesome.
But Val and Matt are going for their first one, right? This is their first one. They're going down to Toronto.
With Al?
Well, they'll probably run into Al and Mary Jane, yeah?
Yeah, he'll shove a microphone in your face.
Mine's attached to my headset, so that means I'll have to get right up close to people. So I don't know if that's going to go over too well.
Oh, you got a cold, don't you?
No, I'm over that now. Yeah.
Oh, so you won't disease them up or anything?
No. No.
Maybe they'll be a little more receptive to you.
Yeah.
Now that you don't have a cold.
Hey, did you guys hear Trudeau vows that cannabis is going to be legal by next summer?
Are you serious? What? Did he just say that?
Yeah, it just
I didn't
came
hear that
out.
at all.
Yeah. Even despite them urging the delay of up to a year, he said no.
You know what? Yesterday I saw something posted. First it was Trudeau said we might have to wait, and then no, he didn't, and then he promises, and now he vows, and it's like, we're not going to know what's going to happen until it fucking happens. Chill out, people.
Yeah. Well, the thing is this, right? Who keeps making these proclamations and then they change them? So let's put Justin aside. So a slightly different topic. You had Doug Ford the other day. This guy's running, for those who don't know, he's running for the Conservative Party leadership of Ontario. There's an election coming soon. And his brother was the outrageous mayor of Toronto, Doug Ford. So that's, you're caught up. But this guy here says that about a month ago, or maybe 5 weeks ago, you folks remember that he said that he wanted to dismantle Kathleen Wynne's Ontario plan and leave it to go to the private markets, etc. And he had a whole different vision for it. And I was thinking, I can't believe this guy is saying anything that makes anywhere near any sense, but I still don't trust him. And then the next day, he recants the whole thing and says, no, we're not doing that. It'll be the same thing and whatever. And so then about a month later, like yesterday or a couple days ago, he comes out and says they're going to start developing in the Greenbelt and cutting into the sort of Greenbelt nature preserve that we do need, our watershed, our whole thing. And the next day he comes out again. Next day he comes out again with the same thing. Oh, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Who is picking up the phone and changing these people's minds as soon as they make their declaration proclamation?
Well,
that's what I want to know.
I think it's safe to say on that subject, he fucked up and he got pulled back again.
By who?
By his party. No,
it's not the party. It's the handler.
Is it the handler?
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Okay. I think so too.
It's always the handler.
Fair enough.
Because these guys can come out and say this, and as soon as they say it and it gets retracted, you know it was the handler.
But the thing is like, okay, so let's just stop right there for a second. That's what's fascinating to me. So you're saying it's the handler doing that. We don't even need to get specific, but it is somebody else. So how about that person is the person who runs for office, the actual influence maker, the actual decision maker. Why don't we have that person running for office? This to me exposes the blatant puppetry of basically what politics is. Because look, if you agree with Doug Ford or you don't agree with Doug Ford, whatever the hell he's talking about, he said one thing and the next day he 180'd it. So the person who can make him 180 it, that's the real power behind the political movement, right? Not just, don't say that, say this. Don't say that, say this.
Unfortunately, very likely that the puppet handler is a collective.
Yeah. Well,
with no one head that could be the one that running for parliament.
How does the collective then? Tell me how a collective contacts the guy immediately and overnight he does a complete 180, no bullshit, and talk about negotiation. It was very successful for that one side. I don't know, man. I think it might be one of those old-time Bay Street clubs where they sit around and drink, and they've been Tories for since the 1880s down at the Bay Club and the whatever those businessmen's clubs are down at York and Adelaide Street downtown Toronto. Those are the guys making the decision. They just let this guy run around and say whatever he wants to say as long as he's carrying out their agenda. And as soon as he beaks off into his territory and it's not to their agenda, they just immediately can yank him back into line. Boom, boom, snap him right back in.
Yep.
The power never changes, just the face of representation does.
Right.
That's why Trudeau's begging.
You know how this shit works.
I do know how it works. I mean, I got to say, go ahead and argue it if you don't agree. But listen, Trudeau was saying about 2017 coming, being the time when it was going to flip, and there was a lot of talk at the time that the laws were going to change. Everybody believed it in the election, and in 2017 it was going to flip over on 420. And then it was no, it's actually going to be Canada Day. And then, no, it's actually going to be the following year. And now they're going to say it's going to be the following year. I mean, I don't have that much time to wait. This is the thing. When I got busy with my oil stuff, I looked at the paperwork to be AMCPR or whatever the hell it is, and I was like, this is going to take too long to come in. Even if they say yes, I don't want to wait this long to get my oil to pull me out of this jam that I am very quickly falling out of,
Yeah.
You just have to take some autonomy with a lot of these things. You can't rely on this collective all the time.
That's the worst thing is the wait times right now are extremely detrimental to patients.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't be here if I was playing ball because they still don't have it in. You're saying maybe next year it's going to happen. And even if it does, it won't be the oils by then.
I took
but
22 weeks to get mine.
The legal market is still not going to be advantageous to a patient because, one, it's going to be cost prohibitive for sure.
Yeah.
And you're only going to be limited to so much per visit to your dispensary.
Yeah, so limited to so much. I mean, and then what if they don't have it that day because there were mites or there was something else and your dealer is only this particular one? And if Loblaws is out of your produce, they won't let you go to Sobeys, right?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's going to get that silly, I know, eh?
It is. It's going to get retarded.
So listen, folks, I think it's time to take a pee break.
Okay, sure.
And we'll be back in about 5 minutes. This is the 420 Radio Show. We're talking with Alan Park. And we'll be right back if I push the right buttons.
Are you looking for cannabis news, education, and people's opinions? Are you looking to learn what Canadian and international cannabis advocates are doing, not only now, but what got them to this point in their lives, and what does the future hold for them? Do you want to learn how patients are using cannabis as their daily medication, or learn how their cannabis use helps them with their medical condition? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I'm going to suggest to you to tune in to Lifestyle Radio. Catch their live weekly shows and have your questions and concerns answered and find the experience you're looking for. Monday, catch your weekly news broadcast with the Reef Reporters. Then on Wednesday, get several hours worth of cannabis public education. We get things started with Cannabis and Coffee with Tamarawana. Then tune in and catch Pottawa with Russell Barth, who calls himself the world's angriest pothead. Finish up your evening with the award-winning Pace Radio Show with Al Graham and joint host Kim Cooper and Alicia Yashishin. No week would be complete without tuning into Friday night's program, the 420 Radio Show, featuring Al Rapp and the 420 Radio crew, Mary Jane Baker and Marcel Gagnac. Cannabis is a lifestyle, and you can catch all your cannabis lifestyle information right here at lifestyleradio.net or at our sister site, 420radio.ca.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
I got the munchy blues.
I need cake, chips, pop, and gummy bears too. I need nachos and cheese, potatoes, carrots, and peas. Gravy on my grits, barbecue ribs. I love licorice, the one they call nib. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Baby, I love you. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Honey, I love you. Cookies and cream, what a dream. I'm your Burger King, I'm your Dairy Queen. Then I'd go down east and eat a big lobster with some special sauce. I want an extra large pizza, extra pepperoni. I love lasagna, I love macaroni.
Linguine, fettuccine, ravioli,
and bologna. I love matzo ball soup, kippers, lox, and bagels. I love the eggs from legs and the snails.
burritos, taquitos, fajitas, and mojitos.
I love burgers and corn dogs and Doritos. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Honey, I love you. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Baby, I love you. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. I love you. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. I got the munchy blues. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. I got the munchy blues.
All right, and we are back. That was the hit, the Munchy Blues. I don't have the blues. I just have a stock bowl on my Shatterizer. There we go. I got it. So, everybody's back, I hope, except for Marcel, because I haven't heard him say anything yet. See, let's just wait for Marcel. Put it all on his shoulders. Alan, are you still there?
Yes, sir. I am
Alan
right here.
There I am.
Yes.
Here comes Marcel.
I'm all set here. Oh, you got water here, Peter.
So, we are going to be broadcasting all day tomorrow from about
As it
1
should
to
be.
5.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
As it should be.
As it should be. Well, we've done it. This is like our third or fourth year that we've done it.
Yeah.
Yep. Like we did with the time zone things. Although we missed Vancouver, I was told. I was so medicated by the time Vancouver came along. I don't even know where I was.
Well, it'd be worse if it was Vancouver.
I wasn't in Vancouver. That's what I do know.
Okay.
So here comes Marcel.
There
we go. There's Marcel. So,
Here I are.
Where were we? We were in.
Are we back?
I think we were in a 2007 area.
I thought we were talking about what Trudeau's delays were all
I'm
about.
joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Yeah, continue your conversation about Mr. Trudeau.
Well, I did not know this. So, Mary Jane, what can you tell us about this thing? Is he really saying that?
That's what the report had said, yeah.
Well, yeah, I haven't been up on the news lately.
You can't believe anything he's going to say,
No,
right?
that's true.
No.
Because as you
Really,
pointed
you
out,
can't
just
believe
like,
anything the media says, though.
Can I ask a question of all of you? What has he done wrong? First of all, I mean, he is doing
right.
what he said he would do. He is legalizing. He's in the process of legalizing cannabis in Canada, and what else has he not? What has he not done that he's promised?
Did you read C-45? That's not legalization.
No, I haven't. That's why I'm asking the question, so that way I can learn.
Yeah, that's not legalization. He's making it that way his rich buddies can make a lot of money.
Okay.
And it's going to criminalize everybody else.
So it's going to make things worse?
Absolutely. Yeah. For example, for you, just for yourself who's a patient, you know that you can medicate, you can smoke your joint anywhere that somebody else can smoke a cigarette, right? Now, come legalization, any person that's not medical is not allowed to smoke a joint out in public where someone else can smoke a cigarette.
And I don't know any way that they would be able to enforce that.
No.
No,
But
it doesn't matter that they can't
that's
enforce
only
it. It doesn't matter that they can't enforce it. First of all, you're right. They can't enforce it, which is clue number one, that it's a fucking stupid decision to make, which is another piece of fact that they have not done their homework. So what's wrong with this thing? Okay, I'm taking it over. What's wrong with this thing is that, you asked me to be on the show, right? I'm not trying to be a hard ass. They're taking it over because they have omitted copious data that favors our position. And they are making up other data and bolstering it with, well, we believe this and we believe that. And they have completely ignored the findings of 50-year-old findings of Lester Grinspoon. And they are completely obliterating the positive results of what's happened in Portugal. And they're completely omitting any kind of reparation efforts that even in the States, with all of their racist problems that they have, and let's not get into that unless you want to, but I don't think it can be argued. And these people down here in San Francisco and in Seattle, they're getting reparations. So before Whitey can make millions of dollars doing this shit, there's going to have to be a pit stop at, hey, look at all those black guys and all those black people and families that got fucked up because some guy got busted for smoking cannabis or whatever the hell, or even selling it, ruined his life, ruined his family, sent his kid to school without a father, blah, 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 all the societal mayhem that they have bestowed upon us by these fictitious rulings, like courtesy of Nixon and Ehrlichman and all these people. And if we don't start taking some hard turns out of this bullshit term of thinking that they have been saddling us with, we're never going to get out of this thing. This is a hugely important piece of data, not a piece of data, this is a turning point in our friggin' history. We've already fucked up in 1970-71. Then Reagan came down and doubled down on it in 1980. It's been a disaster ever since. Everybody knows that. If I was playing this game by their rules, I'd been dead by now. I'm sure they would have preferred that. But the point is, we can't just let them keep on throwing shit and material. To me, it's like they're just dumping a bunch of building materials in some random location. Okay, here's some girders. Here's some electrical cable. Here's some insulation. Here's a couch. There's your house. And you live in it the way we say. And they're like, well, we're going to have to move the couch over here. We're going to have to build a wall over here to put it in. Oh, yeah, we'll get to that later. Like, this is a completely poorly thought out by a fucking cop, this pig who's at the top of this pile. In whose right mind did we ever get to the point where we're going to say, hey, you know what we should do is legalize cannabis, make everybody okay? I know, let's consult with the police. And let's let them run the thing. And they consulted with the police, and they consulted with the police chiefs, and they consulted with the constabulary, and they consulted with healthcare workers who have a vested interest in pharma. Okay, a lot of the CAMH people, sorry, I know they do a lot of good and everything. And they don't come to me once. They don't come to anybody else on this show once who's going, oh, what's your medical shit right? And you really turn it around with this stuff, huh? And they're just choosing to ignore all this data, all this facts, and coming out with shit like, oh, we'll get to it next year. We'll get to it next year. Supposedly the project of sober minds, they have fucked it up so badly. And once it gets in, these 7 laws or so that we now have become the 45 laws that they've got teed up. Thank you, Harrison Jordan at Leafly, who's going to be a lawyer student. You got to read this guy. Had him on my show once. How do you get 45 new laws on top of 7 old ones and call it legalization? Let's remember, legalese is a language for lawyers. They all go to school to learn what it is, so the rest of us don't know. This is a further entanglement and a directly antisocial development and turn towards a control paradigm that will be unmatched, even the way it is now. They're going to be putting people in jail. They're making up bogus things about if you're intoxicated or not. We've already got a gentleman on the show doing 3 grams a day, having no problems functioning. Somebody else does like 5 pinheads and they're not built up to it. Of course, they're going to be high and on the moon. So therefore, the entire intoxication thing, the entire police thing about pulling people over. You're going to pull me over. You're going to find I got cannabis in my system. Fine. You go ahead and prove I'm intoxicated. That's another thing. Intoxication is not necessarily lined up with cannabis in the system. They're just choosing to ignore this. And most people that don't care and don't know and don't use, they just believe the sources of the government every single time. We've got to not make another 50-year skid mark into mistake town like we did in the 70s. I'm done with it. I mean, that's how good his legislation is. And now it's so fucked up that even though he's promised to bring it in, and even though Justin said, well, yeah, no, I don't know where everybody got that July 1st, that you gave it to us. You said it was going to be that. So these folks don't know what they want, and it all got funded into existence in the first place, courtesy of Stephen Bronfman, the Seagram's heir, who's basically taking his family's rum running template of the 20s when they were providing alcohol across the Saskatchewan border, etc., into Chicago during Prohibition. And that's basically what they're doing now. It's Prohibition with Booze 2.0. Why do you think there's speakeasies now? Why do you think there are all these secret clubs where you have to go underground and go to a vape lounge? I'm not making fun of vape lounges. I love them. I'm just saying they wouldn't exist, or you wouldn't need to exist. Like if coffee were illegal, there'd be secret coffee lounges. These guys foment this supposed illegality. They know exactly what they're doing when they dream this shit up in the first place, and it's all by design. The data's there. I mean, if you decide to set this dollar value at $11 or $12 a gram and then tell everybody else they're a criminal for selling it, you're going to create illegalities. You're going to create problems. You're going to send people away. Hopefully, you're also invested into the private for-profit prison industry, too, while you're at it. I could go on, but that's why I don't like any of this legislation.
I think that,
I don't like the legislation because I think it's kind of wrong that I could have sex with a 12-year-old and get 7 years in jail, but if I give her a joint, I go to jail for 14 fucking years.
Exactly. That's another thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's horrendous. And we all know you're not supposed to give it to a kid, and I get it. But why are those penalties out of whack like that? The whole thing is out of whack. You take a look at all of it. Mary Jane's the legislation. I mean, you just read that and it's like, what? I'm in this nightmare. It's not legal. It's legalized, which means you're taking something and legal is not also lawful, okay? Sometimes legal and lawful are the same thing, but one does not beget the other necessarily. And in fact, lawful many times is not legal at all, as the Parker ruling will show you, as the rulings will show you. When people start to get pulled over for being intoxicated and then they can't prove it, right? Then they won't be able to prove it. And we're heading into some really serious problems once and when they do get this shit out there, whether it's, this year as promised and failed. Let's remember, he failed consistently with this. Or whether it's next year, whenever it is, there will be problems with this. And I want to know how many companies Bill Blair has invested into along the way. You know, he says everybody that's not on board or whatever is a criminal and it's a criminal enterprise that will be shut down, blah, blah, blah. And I want to know I want a full fucking disclosure on exactly this guy's investments. And, of course, he'll give a 25-word non-answer to that. But I want to know exactly how many LPs he's already invested into or whatever, a widget for some new way of delivering cannabis that's yet to be invented. Whatever he's invested into, I want to know every single thing. And until this cop, who's a G20 human rights abuser who got away with that shit, I mean, it's amazing to me. One guy smokes a joint now and gets caught, or one of the Emerys or whatever the hell. Now they were caught in the old paradigm using something. Now it's illegal, so they can't participate in the new paradigm. We're supposed to let these bureaucrats and these cops run things. I mean, who the hell goes to if you're going to a cop to figure out the entire structure, I can tell you exactly why that is. It's because if you really decriminalized this substance, okay, if you really decriminalized it and just removed it, like I get in the same amount of trouble having a tulip in my garden as I do with cannabis, and you decriminalized it, all of a sudden, every single man hour of every single police station detachment in this country or North America or the world or whatever, everybody that's a cop has a certain amount of man hours on his sheet, particularly more so in a drug squad. But like people that are involved in arresting people for cannabis, writing up those issues in their police reports and all the business that they do in the police station, all the going to court appearances and everything else, you just go ahead and subtract that from every cop's ledger, every bit of the spreadsheet. Well, guess what? Now we don't need as many cops. Now they have to look at budget cutbacks.
There were several articles put out this week, again, in the media, that are hinting that they are looking at removing charges, cannabis charges. So
they better. they can do nothing but the full whole hog on this. There's no moral ground whatsoever for putting.
Well,
listen to this. I mean,
they're even considering doing it down in the States. So you know.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're already doing it in the States. That's what I'm saying. Justin's legislation, Kathleen Windbag's legislation, does not address these reparations. It's completely immoral. It's completely beyond the pale to say, look, this shit's illegal. You're in trouble. You're a bad person. I'm going to fuck your life. You're going to go to jail. I was worried about your health and your safety, and you use this stuff, and I caught you using it, so I'm not going to put you in jail. And we'll see how your kid does without a father in school if they're so worried about our health. You're going to do that, and then instantly turn to a whole bunch of other people are going to make millions of dollars, and the people that got fucked over in the short run get nothing but the continued sad story of the existence they've been handed by authorities. There is no moral ground for this, and these punks that are supposedly leaders in office, they don't even address that fact. That's not even addressed in any of the legislation here. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mary Jane. You probably read it more recently and more in depth than I did based on your report earlier. But I'm telling you, these people can't just go from labeling a bunch of people using it as criminals to labeling a bunch of people using it as the sanctioned profiteers, and most of the people drawing up these laws are invested into those companies. Bill Blair, how deep do your fingers go into the pie, buddy?
It's going to be interesting to see what happens, that's for sure. But and we won't actually, I mean, let's be honest, we won't know what happens until it happens.
Well, yeah, well, I got some pretty juicy predictions. I'm not going to argue them until they happen. But basically, I think a lot more people are going to be getting arrested. People are going to be getting surprised.
I think at first you're right.
That they're arrested.
At first, yep.
And then eventually the court challenges. And then eventually the court challenges are going to find in our favor, as they always do.
No. But it's the process that has to happen, right?
No, it doesn't. That's what I thoroughly disagree with. It's not a process that has to happen.
Going to be there has to. I mean, therethere's going to be court challenges. I mean, there already are. You know.
Oh, okay. The court challenges are going to go on for years after this fiasco comes out.
Okay. This is the thing I'm calling for: is that we somehow, through the legislation. I mean, if they're going to punt it down the road, we need more input into what it's going to be like, because it's like the old thing: prevention's better than cure. I mean, you could just take a pile of garbage and not garbage, but you could take some pipes and some building supplies and everything and call it a house, or you could decide to actually draw up a plan that really works and build a foundation, and from there and come up and actually structure properly so that with those same pile of building materials, it is a house. You can't just dump a pile of shit somewhere and call it a house and force people to live inside of it, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And so we need to go, look, this isn't going to work. You're going to bust somebody for this, and he's going to be able to show that's not the case, and you're in for a world of trouble. And not enough people, I don't think, are aware of this or care. I mean, I don't mean to disparage anybody in the community, but you can't even believe the amount of people that I've met over my medical journey who are all on board with everything that I've got to say in the medical advances, but they didn't even realize at the time how healthful it is as a substance. As a smoker before, in the past, I can attest to that. I just thought it was a fun little thing to get you high once in a while. That's neat. I didn't realize the medical power of it. And still people today don't realize the medical healthful power of it, because not only are you doing that, you're subtracting opioid addiction rates and all the tragedy that goes with that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just criminal to keep this stuff locked up in some crazy box and then call it legal when it's even more legalized and it has more laws around it than it does already in this moment.
I know.
Well said.
they're removing some laws and adding more.
Yeah,
Correct?
7 going out and 45 coming in.
Yeah.
So that you tell me that's okay. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
No, it's not okay, and I'm sure that this new edit, this when we see whatever is going on now, is going to reflect some of that. I'm sure, but we won't really know until they say, "Here you go. Here's the regulations," right? Which is bugging a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, it bugs me. I want to see what the regulations, the final draft is going to be.
When
I'm
do you
looking
think
forward
that's
to
going to happen?
I'm looking forward to the education programs. That's what I'm looking forward to as well. These indoctrination tracts, as they
I've
say.
already seen some of the billboards being posted. People, they take pictures. You see a billboard or a commercial. They've got you remember a few years ago, Marcel, I said that I saw a poster on the subway in Toronto that Cam H was doing a driving in cannabis thing.
Yeah.
They're doing it again.
Oh, God.
And so Matt Myrna saw the poster and took a picture of it. And so,
Well, look at the way they treat it. I mean, this is how fucked it up is. This is really quick point right here. I was just driving by this LCBO. Okay, so this is the company that's going to be selling cannabis. They've got a $650,000 logo. Congratulations. I've been informed by a very excellent artist and a graphic artist that thing should have cost no more than $25,000. Anyway, there's a big banner now hanging out for summertime promotion outside of the LCBOs. It's probably on all of them because they're standardized. So some printer company got a great contract, and so it goes, and so the business expands. But this thing, it's a big banner hanging down by the door of LCBOs. Check it out. It's going on right now, May 2018. And it says, hip to sip. So what they're saying is it's hip to drink alcohol. That's what it is. Now, I don't have a problem with this at all. I don't have a problem with it personally. I want to get that out of the way. But I'm saying it's so fucking hypocritical for these idiots to tell you all the terrible things about cannabis. It has to be in this package, and it can't be interesting to look at, and it has to be a boring label,
and
and
you
blah,
know
blah,
what?
blah. And they got this thing hip to sip. It's not going to say cool to vape. They're not going to put that in there.
Exactly. And you know what? On that argument, I'm driving around the city a couple of weeks ago, and I noticed they've got this new slogan going up on the beer store where you can buy it. It just says beer here. So are we going to, maybe next year see cannabis here all over the place?
Yeah. I know. That's what I mean. They're so hypocritical. They're so off the mark on this. And when they come up with a new program, when the same company is saying, oh, yeah, we got to make sure nobody really gets into this cannabis stuff. And they've got a big poster that says, hip to sip. Hey, it's great to sit around and drink, isn't it? Yeah. Like, that is nuts. And having these characters, right? Like, you've got these, for a Budweiser commercial, you got a bunch of chicks running around in bikinis. Guess what? If you drink a bunch of this beer, you're going to get some of these gals and get laid and everything. That's the implied message, right? Can't have that with cannabis. Can't have Captain Morgan or some kind of cartoon slogan character, mascot for cannabis. Can't do any of that. You can do all of that with cannabis. With alcohol, sorry. It is so ridiculous on its face. And, of course, cops and people that involve themselves in these things, they drink alcohol all the time. Wouldn't be surprised if the chief of police has a bottle of Teachers at the bottom of the filing cabinet in his desk in his office. I mean, this is ridiculous stuff, man. And it's just such a ridiculous notion that we fall into this. And we're asking these people for permission. And we're hoping they provide. I met one guy, he was a friend of mine, don't talk to him much anymore, but when the new regulations came out, he said, well, I think it's okay. I mean, they're letting us have 30 grams of cannabis at any point. They're letting us have 30 grams? You think that's okay? Like, that is such a servile position. It makes me sick.
So, Marcel, you want to tell people about this song we're going to listen to?
I think it's awesome.
I gotta see.
I haven't heard it. I want to hear the song, but
I don't know if you're going to hear it. You'll have to listen to it after.
I'll listen to it after, anyways. But it's because Nova Scotia has the highest per capita consumption of cannabis in the country. They come up with a song called Baked in Nova Scotia.
Okay, so let's listen to that, and we'll be right back if this works. Let's see if this is going to work here.
Sure.
We're baked baked in Nova Scotia, so have another toke. We'll puff and pass that doobie. Things move slower here, it's because we're mellowed out. Someday soon we can smoke it legally. Now no one would have ever guessed. Turns out Nova Scotians love the green. When it comes to smoking up, we're sure we're the best. This could be why we aren't very mean. We're baked in Nova Scotia, so have another toke. We'll puff and pass that doobie. Things move slower here, it's because we're mellowed out. Someday soon we can smoke it legally.
Plus, that might be my new theme song.
From the docks of Yarmouth to North Sydney, it's not the fog, it's just the haze. Late night donaires will crush the munchies. No, we haven't any doctors, so we have to blaze.
See, this is
We're baked in Nova Scotia, so have another toke. We'll puff and pass that doobie. Things move slower here, it's because we're mellowed out. Someday soon we can smoke it legally. We're baked in Nova Scotia, so have another toke. We'll puff and pass that doobie. Things move slower here, it's because we're mellowed out. So let's burn another spliff and stare out at the sea.
The album coming out
Nova Scotia.
soon.
Hey,
What's it like for you guys right now, waiting to get this thing out there?
Yeah, album drops.
Close that. Now we're back.
I got to say though, right away, I'm always happy to find out something I don't know, and I don't know everything, and I certainly don't claim to know everything. I just know what I know. I didn't know Nova Scotia was the #1 consumption place. I would have guessed BC maybe.
Nah, we got everybody beat. We don't have a whole lot of people here, but we know how to grow good pot.
Yeah, I never would have guessed that. So congratulations for the record.
We also held the record for having the most doctors that were signing for patients.
Oh, good for you.
Back when we had the MMAR.
Right.
We have a lot of sick people here, so we figured out pot worked really good years ago, so we've all been using it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the legislature for a minute. You mean actual patients that are sick? Oh, yeah, sure, I get that.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to hear it.
Oh, we don't even want to talk about our legislature. We have a very, very well-working network here.
Yeah. Well, good for that. That's good.
Leave our dispensaries alone, leave the patients alone, and get more doctors to sign them.
We don't have that here, and it's going to cause some issues for a lot of. It already has.
Well, it already has. I mean, look what's going on in Kensington. At one point, you had how many dispensaries? Listen, I don't understand. I don't understand. You talk about the legislation that sucks. I guess they're not ready yet. Because how are you going to have 40 stores all across this giant Ontario, basically the Texas of Canada? How are you going to have 40 stores strewn across here? Right now, there's 67 dispensaries in friggin' tiny little Hamilton? I mean, how it makes no sense at all. Like, if you're going to
Hamilton's the shit now, right now, for dispensaries.
It is. They're great. They're great. But I'm just saying, if you're going to have 40.
I've been saying to everybody for a year. You know?
Yeah, but if you're going to have 40 places all across, this is what's going to happen. So you say, well, we don't know what's going to happen until it happens. No, we do know this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to want to play by the rules. Somebody's going to want to do that. There's going to be a certain amount of people who want to play by the rules, and they live in a certain town or area that doesn't have a dispensary in Ontario. So they're going to get in their car. They're going to drive the 1, 2, 3 hours or whatever it is to get to the place that does so have it. And then they're risking all kinds of hassle on their return back to their area, particularly if they medicate before they get back in the car and on the way back. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of limitation that they have.
It's only 45 minutes from Toronto to Hamilton, Niagara Falls to Hamilton, London to Hamilton. Windsor is a little bit further, but, you know, it's very accessible. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's thriving. Along King Street, I was just down there a couple weeks ago, and right at the corner of King and Hess, and I haven't been in there, is another dispensary. It used to be a restaurant. So what I see happening there is people are moving into the Hess Village in hopes to capitalize on that lounge thing, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I hear a lot of dispensary people talking about they're going to go into the lounge thing. They're going to get ready for that, where they can sell cannabis to just like a bar. You know, I mean, it's coming. They've already said that's happening, right? Or a variation of that.
Right.
You figure that's going to happen?
I didn't hear that.
I think there's going to be some places where we can go and consume. Yeah. Will we be able to buy cannabis openly? I know a lot of people are hoping.
Yeah, I think it may. I think it may be a long time coming before you see that.
Before that happens, yeah. But look, like Tweed has been opening stores all over Canada, calling them information places.
In hopes that they may one day may be able to be a dispensary.
Yeah, and also they're really just glorified recruitment centers.
Right now, but don't forget, those guys are actively lobbying to be able to have their own dispensaries and standalone stores.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they want that retail market as well. I mean, they're basically being forced into a wholesale market because they're going to be the suppliers to the retailers. So now their wholesale market with no aspects or chance at all of getting retail market other than mail order to patients, which isn't going to be retail market. So they're lobbying to get their own stores. So Tweed going in and buying up locations for educational centers and places like that, in all honesty, is smart foresight, because if they ever get the approval, they've got a location everywhere.
They're there. And in term, because they're not allowed to, quote-unquote, advertise, they're in neighborhoods where they feel they should be, and those are recruitment centers. I mean, if you go in there, you can sign up and find out what they've got, and they'll talk to you about the process and all that. But I don't know how far they go into the whole medical stuff with you, like they do at a dispensary. I don't know. I've never been. I go to
Me
a dispensary.
either. I don't know.
I have to admit, I like being able to walk into a storefront, buy what I want to get, have a conversation with whoever's there about whatever, and then leave without any, here's your ID, blah, 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 blah. I understand, just like a beer store, they card you. That's fine. Show them your ID, walk in. It's part of the process. But the whole membership thing lost flavor with me when Com got raided, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unfortunate drawback, but membership's also still a good way to protect yourself in the long run.
Who's being licensed, and a lot of people who
I'm torn
are
on
not
it.
even going to go forward.
See, I don't have the same problem. I don't have the same issues. I go to dispensaries 9 times out of 10. I know more than the person that's working there, so it's no sense me asking questions. I just go and take what I want and leave, and hope that nobody recognizes me, so I don't have to spend a couple hours answering questions. But then again, I don't go shopping at dispensaries very often.
You know what? Like I said, I've been enjoying being able to walk into a dispensary, choose what I want, ask questions. Usually the people are right on. There's been a few places that I've gone into in Hamilton where I really enjoy the staff. And then there's been a couple of places that I've gone into where, you know, there's a big burly guy standing at the door, half asleep, just waiting to get up and get in your face if you say something wrong. very intimidating when you walk into the door. But it's needed in Hamilton.
Right.
You know?
See, that's not something that we have here.
Do you have places that you can walk in other than like Pharmacist and other places like that?
There's 25 dispensaries in Halifax.
Okay.
Right now. So, I mean, there's all kinds. Some of them...
Are they raiding? Because I've heard they have been.
They do every once in a while. But remember, cops only raid when there's a complaint.
Okay.
Because they don't go looking for work. I mean, they're human. They're lazy like everybody else. They're not going to go and look for work to make more work for themselves. They wait till somebody complains.
Yeah, and those complaints are usually a dissatisfied customer.
Or another dispensary owner.
Yeah.
Or a neighbor that doesn't like the heavy traffic. And that's the majority of who are the ones that are complaining. Once a complaint is filed, then the cops have no choice but to respond to it. But the cops don't want to waste their time going after a dispensary raid and then just to have it end up being thrown out in court because the prosecution doesn't want to have the laws overturned.
Fair enough.
Right? Anybody that's going to challenge... It is a giant circle jerk. It's a waste of goddamn time. That there shouldn't be even licensed producers. It should just be like fucking tomatoes. If you want it, grow it yourself. If you want to grow it commercially, then you get a license and grow it commercially, like a fucking tomato. Price should be less than $1 a gram.
Yeah, and you can put a tomato vine up over your fence too.
Mm-hmm.
Alan.
Yes, sir.
Please do us a favor. We're coming to the end of this thing here.
Okay.
Tell people one thing that we haven't got to really is your podcast.
Sure.
Tell people a little bit about that, when you can hear it. Yada yada. I think we're scheduled to be on the 11th.
I don't know. Kim will have booked that. It's out of my hands now to book who's on when, so I look forward to it whenever it is. But yeah, we got a lot of great shows coming up.
Mary Jane will know. What is it, Mary Jane?
It is June the 5th.
June the 5th.
June 5th. Okay. All right, so that'll be great. We have Kim has got us booked into July, so I don't really know who everybody is anymore. We're only doing it once a week, so at the beginning it took a while to get people to come on because nobody, we weren't known. Nobody knew who we were. We were scrambling. Like on Sunday, we'd be looking for somebody for Tuesday. Now we're into July, and people are coming on and getting it. We've had great guests. So what's the show? It's called Green Crush, and it's green because green is cannabis, and crush is what it can do to cancer and a lot of other illnesses, and the laws that prevent our access to it. So that's how the name Green Crush came about. It was born of necessity because I didn't want to call it cannabis versus cancer or anything like that. I didn't even want to use those two words in it, although it seemed that was a bad idea because with search engines, if someone's looking, they get the show. But I just didn't want to go there. And I think this is what's been saving our ass a little bit on this YouTube cull, where they try to get rid of the channels that even talk about this stuff. So it's called Green Crush with Alan Park, and it's on YouTube every Tuesday live at 2:03 Eastern Standard Time, and we're always a little bit late. That's how we do it, and that's how it has been working for us. And we just discuss. First of all, it started out as the first few episodes were just by myself and explaining to people my story in detail. So if you like the show and you come across it, that's neat. Go back to episode 1, as is the case with podcasts, and go listen to the beginning of it. I stand behind, if somebody pulls something strange out of there in an audio clip and sends it to us and says, this is out of order, I stand behind everything I've said so far, and we've done 38 shows now and 39 coming up this week. So I just try to make it clear to people that there is great remedy in this plant. This plant has a natural human rights access. And I'm watching a dog and a cat right now standing off, and I might have to make a move here. But this stuff is so helpful, and I need people to understand that I come from this experience as a person who has gone through just like you know, the people that are on this show. And it's not just a commentary. I'm not just talking about sports because I like sports. I'm not just talking about movies because I'm a fan of movies, and there's nothing wrong with that. I talk about this because I was dead to the world and given no option, and this thing turned me around. This has caused me to do a great amount of research, maybe not as much as some people, but more than most, I think, enough to help myself find out how to get out of this pickle. And I just want to share this information. Like the system is so frightening. The medical system can be very upsetting. I know, because I was frightened and upset by it. And I'm just trying to take a lot of hitches out of the way for other people that might go through it. And I highly recommend, with the power of this show and the great guests that we have coming on, and we've got some wonderful, great. I'm so proud of the back catalog right now. If we had to stop tomorrow, I don't know what I would do, but I'd be very happy with what we've accumulated. But basically trying to get the facts out to people that this stuff can work, and it's not always that everything is 100% effective by one application of a cannabis. Nobody makes that claim. Nobody can make that claim. Certainly not chemotherapy. So I just want people to understand it can be easier. I went through a shitty time, through a very dark, difficult, dark maze to get out. I got out, and I'm just trying to tell people the short run. Like, you just turn left here, turn right there, go around there, and you're done. It's a lot easier to get out of dire straits than they make it sometimes. So that's what this shit is about. That's what the whole crush is.
It's nice
That's
to have
all
somebody with common ground as well, right?
Exactly. And that's what the crush. I'm just like rolling through. I was just done listening to what it doesn't do and what it can't do, and I got kind of tired of telling people about it who'd be excited to hear about it. I mean, I'd sit and talk about it for, as we've done tonight, for 2, 3, 5, 7 hours. But that's not as efficient as podcasting, broadcasting, right? So anybody can hear it anytime and hear it again if they want. And I just wanted to get that word out. And unfortunately and fortunately, in this almost year we've been doing it, we've not had any corporate sponsorship whatsoever. So that has been what we thought we needed that at the beginning. But what it helped establish in the positive end of things was a complete editorial freedom. I have not been told not to say something by anybody. I'm sure there are a few LPs out there who, if they listen or even care about the show, would be pissed off with what I've had to say about them. None of them pissed off enough to sue me. So I guess I'm not wrong when a company like Organigram, who doesn't even know why they had contaminants in their final product, they didn't understand why it was in there. I would say, I don't understand why you even had those contaminants in your building, never mind in the batch, because your name of the company is Organigram. So come on. Not supposed to have any of that there. And there's a lot of dirty pool like that. So I'm just trying to tell people, you got to empower yourself, preferably grow your own and have access to it. Yes, you'll probably need to buy elsewhere. Don't take the government stigma of, oh, gee, I better get it from the liquor store or I'm a bad person. First of all, you're not going to be able to trust the quality of weed that goes into there in the long run when Monsanto Bayer get their fingers into re-engineering the thing to be far less effective than it already is. And if you don't believe that, you don't know the history of Frankenseeds, the Terminator seed, and how they engineered seeds for farmers to only last one season, so you got to buy more next year, and there's no seed saving. They can do all kinds of things with genetics. So look out for that in the future. That's the other beacon that I try to get people to. This isn't just fun time. You know, you got to make sure that your supply is safe. You got to make sure you've got access to the kind of seeds you want to get and propagate the good stuff, because once they start resynthesizing and enforcing that, at these government dispensaries, you're going to have later on a reduction in the brands and the types and the kushes and the sativas and the whatevers, because these punks are going to breed it down and control it. You watch out for that. Think I'm nuts for saying so? Great. We'll get to it, and you'll be going, holy shit, that guy was right. So make sure you know your source. Make sure you know where yours is coming from. Know your dealer. Understand where he gets it, and just realize this thing is a food. It's a vitamin. It's an amino acid. It's all kinds of things. And that is the reason why it helps you with so many different conditions. It's not a drug that's a wonder drug that fixes every disease. It's a healthful substance that puts your body into a wonderful state of homeostasis to better handle any invaders and illnesses that come along. So they're looking at it in a wrong way. They're not looking at it in a truthful way. They're looking at it in a let's make money in the private prison kind of way, etc. So that's what the whole show is about. Green Crush with Alan Park, and we have great guests on, teach you how to grow it, teach you funny stories about how they smuggled it into the country back in the 70s, teach you about the repression of laws like in countries like ourselves and Ireland and Australia, all over the place, where we've had champions of spirit counter the ridiculous notions of government not allowing it, such as Vera Toomey in Ireland, who just fought them and said, I'm going to take my kid to Amsterdam, then we'll treat her there. And eventually she got an exemption from the government, and they finally even now pay for her daughter's medicine. So we do need to keep kicking these doors down, because that's the only way they change. This woman's like a one-woman army, and then a bunch of people got behind her because they realized she was in the right. Her poor kid having Dravet syndrome, and multiple, more seizures than I care to remember, multiple daily. Now the kid's down to like 1 or 2 a month or something, or even less than that, and that's still no good. But it's better than having multiple sessions daily, which can kill you. So this woman has taken on the Irish government. We got Jenny Hallam in. These are all, as I like to say, friends of the show. These are all people whose stories we have profiled and want to get around the world. We've gone beyond Canada. Canada's a bit of a cartoon with its legislation. I talk about it because I live here, but I'm interested in the developments in Spain, in Portugal, in Israel, where the amount of research there is unbelievable, especially when you consider a lot of it's funded by America, but then they don't want to sell it in America because it's illegal. But Dr. Raphael Mechoulam, with what he's come up with since 1963, the guy that identified the substance that is THC, just trying to get this information out there. It's been repressed. It's been suppressed. I talk a lot. Might as well talk about something that's super important. Green Crush, Tuesdays, YouTube. And when we get booted off from YouTube, take a look around. We will be reloading elsewhere. We do have all our shows backed up. And take a look for us. I'm not sure. I wish I knew right now, but we'll be going to Daily Motion, or Me, or one of the multiple other platforms out there for video. We're not going to go away just because YouTube pulls up.
YouTube isn't the last place to go.
Exactly. So look for us if you get into that situation where you haven't been able to find us. Just crack open a Google page, I guess. I'm sure Danny is going to kill me when he hears this. My producer. I'm probably saying the wrong thing, but if we just disappear all of a sudden, look us up on Google, and there we will have migrated over to whatever it is. Some new platform, and all our shows will be there. They're not going to suck out our back catalog. I'm so sorry. That's not why we made it. This is great information. It's
you
fun
might want to search on Bing.
I get to tell my story. I get to exercise my desire to broadcast. I get to just intertwine and interweave this all together and get out a really powerful message. And I stand by every minute of that show. We've had Sensible Ontario on. They were on a couple of shows ago. That was great. So many different people with so many insightful viewpoints, all of which would stump any politician, none of whom have been able to accept an offer or even a challenge to come in and debate any of this with me. And we'll just keep trying. I want to get Bill Blair in there. Let me tell you, I'd love to sit him down and go one-on-one, fair game, mano a mano. In my house, I had enough of your house with all the lies. I want to get the truth out there. I want to help people not have to suffer as much as they have been. And I know, because I suffered a lot, and now I don't. So I want to bring that to people right away so that they don't even have to wait for it. The end. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being here. You were trying to say something, Marcel?
Yeah, but I forget what it was now.
Must have been that boom explosion ending I just threw at you. Hey, I'm just happy to have you on. It was
the mic
great
drop
to meet
just
you guys
did
at
it in.
420. What's that?
The mic drop at the end just did it in for me. So
I guess so. Yeah, might have blown it out.
Me.
Sorry, kind of just wound up being that way. But I do want to thank the folks. Al was at. I met him at 420, and Mary Jane. We had a great talk upstairs at Rocherama, a place which is bizarrely under some kind of threat of continuance based on a bunch of series of laws put together by a bunch of jugheads. I mean, this place has been running for like 19, 20 years. Abby Roach has done a great job of providing what? A service that who? A lot of people want. Is that democracy? Yeah. Is she adding to the economy? Yeah. So why is this a problem again? So that's where we were at 420, and I had a great time speaking there. Did a little comedy set / information set for some folks there, and we're just going to keep going with this. No more repression or suppression of the facts. I'm all done with that.
Awesome.
Good.
So tomorrow is the Global Marijuana March.
Yes. Good luck with that. Power through. Represent. Sorry, I can't do it.
If you can't go and you want to be a part of it, join us. We're going to be there from about 1 o'clock Eastern Time to till whenever we fall asleep.
Or our asses get sore.
Yes, that happens too. Although the good thing is we figured out how we can get up and walk around at the same time. So that's the good thing.
Yeah.
Are we talking about suppositories again, and it numbs you out? Is that
no.
No. Good old fashioned.
We're talking sitting in an office chair for 4 to 5 hours. listen to people walk.
Hey, I didn't get to recommend my song earlier. I'm sorry I missed that. Mary Jane asked me what kind of song I might throw in for one of the breaks, and I didn't get the chance to get it in quickly enough. But I'll just throw it out there anyway. Whether you like it or not, Alice Cooper. Just look it up anyway, whether you're a fan or not. Just look up Alice Cooper and look up the song Poison and read the lyrics. And that's my ode to chemotherapy.
Cool. And on that note, I guess we're done here. This is the 420 Radio Show. I want to thank Alan Park for joining us. Had a nice
Thank you,
chat.
guys.
Marcel and Mary Jane and I will be around tomorrow, along with Al Graham and Alicia Yashishin, and Kim Cooper will be calling in also from Timmins. They're doing their first GMM up there. So we're going to hang out online for those who can't. Al will be walking around with Mary Jane down at Toronto's south side, right? It's the south side this year, I think?
No, it's the north side.
It's the north side. Okay. So where's Sensible Ontario happening? On the South Lawn?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay. There's a map going on.
Around that long, I have to get home. So I will be there for the march, though.
And the march starts on the North Lawn, I think the northeast side of the...
at the north,
Queen's
at Queen's Park North,
yeah.
At noon.
At noon.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, if you're around, say hi to Al and Mary Jane. And otherwise, we be out of here. Thanks, Alan.
Maybe he left.
I think maybe he left. All right, guys. We'll
think he
talk to
left.
you.
All right. You have a good one.
You too,
Peace
buddy.
out.
Night,
Peace,
Mary
love, and
Jane.
hippie shit. Night, Mary Ann.
Good night.
So what are you doing? Nothing. Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.